Welcome back to LC Coins World, the place where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today we're about to uncover 9 Lincoln wheat pennies that will completely change the way you look at pocket change. And now, these aren't shiny mint state beauties, locked away in cases. No, every single one of these pennies is scratched, worn, faded, and in some cases beaten nearly beyond recognition. But these aren't shiny mint state beauties, locked away in cases. No, every single one of these pennies is scratched, worn, faded, and in some cases beaten nearly beyond recognition. But here's the shocking truth. Even in bad condition, these 9 coins have stunned collectors, with values that soar into the tens of thousands and in some cases into 6 figures. From the scarred 1950 with scratches across Lincoln's face to the coin you've shared is a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. And even though it looks heavily worn with its surface pitted, scratched, and almost blending into the copper background, that's exactly where the surprise lies. Most people would glance at this coin, see the faded lettering, and toss it aside, thinking, it's just a worthless old penny. But here's the shocking truth. Even in a condition like this, collectors pay close attention because rarity, mint, marks, and history can outweigh appearance. The 1945 came out of the Denver Mint just after World War LL, during a time when millions of soldiers were coming back home and America's economy was shifting. This penny isn't rare by mintage numbers alone, since over 315 million were struck. But here's the twist. Certain era varieties and rare dice states can turn this coin into a jackpot. For example, double dies, repunched mint marks, and striking errors have made even ugly damaged coins sell for thousands of dollars. One circulated example with a bold, repunched demint mark was picked up for over $12,000 at auction, and that was in a condition not much better than what you're looking at right now. Now, what makes this particular penny exciting is the possibility hidden under the damage. A seasoned collector doesn't just see scratches. They look at the outline of Lincoln's bust, the placement of the date, and whether the demint mark is in a position that might reveal a known variety. Some of these coins, even with environmental damage, have sold in the high 5-figure range when verified by grading services. Imagine pulling something like this from a jar of old coins and learning it could fetch $50,000 or even $75,000 because of a small minting mistake. That's the kind of shock that keeps collectors digging through rolls and boxes. And let's not forget the emotional factor. This coin has been through nearly 80 years of circulation, pocket to pocket, hand to hand. Yet it still carries value beyond its one sentient face. And that's the magic of numismatics. It's not just about how pretty the coin looks. It's about the story it tells and the rarity it represents. Worth number 3, the 1945 wheat penny, is a fascinating piece of US coinage, standing out as one of the most valuable coins of the wheat cent series. While millions were struck, rare varieties and striking errors mark certain 1945 pennies. Highly collectible. If you happen to come across one, you could be holding a valuable piece of history. Could this ultra-rare penny be hiding in your collection? The history of the 1945 wheat penny adds to its significance. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was refining coin production, yet some fascinating minting errors still slipped through. The 1953 penny continued the long tradition of wheat cents, which had been minted since 1909, but with each passing year, these coins became more cherished. Made of 95% copper, the 1945 penny has also gained interest due to the fluctuating value of copper over time. Several rare errors and varieties contribute to the high value of certain 1945 wheat pennies. One of the most famous is the double die verse, where the date and lettering appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. Another valuable variety is the off-center strike, where part of the coin's design is missing due to an improperly positioned planet. Additionally, some 1945 pennies feature repunched Minam marks, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco appears stamped multiple times, making them highly sought after by collectors. Collectors always seek out high-grade coins, and the condition of a 1945 wheat penny plays a significant role in its value. Coins in mid-state condition, particularly those graded MS-65 and above, are highly desirable proof. Versions of this coin, especially those with deep cameo contrast, also fetch premium prices in auctions and private sales. Now the question everyone wants answered: how much is a rare 1945 wheat penny worth while common circulated? Versions may be worth only a few cents. Rare varieties and those in pristine condition can command astonishing prices. Some of the most valuable 1945 wheat pennies, especially those with unique errors or in top-grade condition, have sold for anywhere from $1,400 to $64,000 at auction. These impressive prices highlight the ongoing demand for rare and high-quality wheat pennies. Do you have a 1945 wheat penny in your collection? Have you ever discovered an unusual era coin while searching through your old change? Let us know in the comments below. Your next great discovery could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be recognized for incredible history. Is the famous 1957 D bronze wheat penny. While most 1957 D pennies were made of steel, a few were accidentally struck on leftover copper planets from details. Number 2, the 1957 D wheat penny is one of the last coins of the iconic wheat cent series, making it a sought-after treasure for collectors. While millions were produced, some rare varieties and errors have turned ordinary 1957 D pennies into valuable collectibles. If you own one of these ultra-rare pieces, you might be in for a pleasant surprise. Could a hidden fortune be waiting in your coin jar? To understand why the 1957 wheat penny holds value, we must look at its history. This was one of the final years before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. By 1957, D wheat pennies had already cemented their place in American history, and any rare errors from this time became instant collector's LDOL items. The 1957 D penny is composed of 95% copper, which also adds to its desirability among collectors, especially in higher grades. Some of the most exciting and valuable 1957 D wheat pennies are those featuring striking errors. A few key varieties include the double die obverse, where the date and lettering appear double due to a misalignment during minting. Another rare variety is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the planche was not properly positioned. Additionally, some 1957 D pennies feature repunched minim marks, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco appears stamped multiple times. These errors significantly increase a coin's value. Collectors pay close attention to the condition of these coins. A high-grade, well-preserved 1957 D wheat penny with full red luster can command an impressive price. Coins graded M65 and above by professional grading services often bring in top dollar. Additionally, proof versions of this coin, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are highly desirable. Now the big question: how much is a 1957 D wheat penny worth while regular circulated? Versions may only be worth face value. Rare varieties and mint-conditioned specimens have been known to fetch extraordinary prices. The rarest 1957 wheat pennies featuring unique errors or in pristine condition have sold for anywhere from $112,500 to $60,000 at auction. This proves that even a small penny can hold immense value if it possesses the right qualities. Do have a 1957 D wheat penny in your collection? Have you ever come across a unique error coin while searching through your change? Let us know in the comments below. Your next great discovery could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be recognized for. The 1944 wheat penny is one of those hidden treasures that coin collectors and enthusiasts dream about. While most people overlook pennies as pocket change, some of them hold incredible value, especially if they have rare errors, unique varieties, or historical significance. Today, we're diving deep into the ultra-rare and most valuable 1944 wheat penny, uncovering what makes it so special, how to identify valuable varieties, and why some have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. Could you have one hiding in your collection? The story of the 1944 wheat penny begins with its classic design by Victor David Brenner, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheaters on the reverse. This penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each carrying unique characteristics that affect value. While most 1944 wheat pennies are common, certain rare errors and high-grade examples make them worth Serious money Eric coins are one of the main reasons why some 1944 wee pennies are highly valuable. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die variety, where the design appears slightly double due to a misalignment. During striking, another valuable error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin blank wasn't properly centered in the press. Then there's the repunched M mark of variety, where the D or S minmar was stamped multiple times, creating a distinctive and collectible anomaly. Condition and grade also play a massive role in determining the value of a 1944 wheat penny coins that have survived in pristine condition, especially those with full original luster and minimal wear, are highly desirable uncirculated. Examples graded MEMS 65 or higher by professional grading services can command a premium due to their rarity. Collectors seek out these well-preserved pennies because they showcase the full beauty of the design and historical details beyond errors and condition. There's another factor that makes the 1944 wheat penny incredibly valuable: its scarcity and high grades. While millions were minted, most entered circulation and suffered from decades of wear and tear. Finding one in exceptional condition is like discovering a hidden gem, and collectors are willing to pay high prices for these rare specimens. Now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know: how much is the 1944 wheat penny really worth in lower grades? These pennies are still collectible, but the real value lies in those rare, high-quality specimens with sought-after errors. The most valuable 1944 wee pennies have sold for amounts ranging from $22,500 to $68,000. These record-breaking prices are a testament to the rarity and desirability of these coins among serious collectors. So, do you have a 1949 wheat penny in your collection? Have you ever come across an unusual penny that looked different from the rest? Let us know in the comments below. Your next coin hunt could lead to a small fortune, and you never know what valuable.
Welcome back to LC Coins World, where history is alive in the coins we carry in our hands. Today, we take you on a journey deep into the heart of a coin you may have once spent without a second thought, but now it holds layers of history and meaning that most collectors overlook. Get ready to explore the fascinating life of the 1973 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who remembers using these coins daily, this episode will open your eyes to the hidden value and rich legacy behind one of America's most underappreciated coins. So sit back, relax, and let's go back in time with the 1973 Jefferson nickel. The story of the 1973 Jefferson nickel begins long before the coin was minted. To understand it fully, we must first understand the man it honors: Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was not only the third president of the United States, he was also the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and a visionary whose influence on American democracy still echoes today. His image was chosen to appear on the nickel beginning in 1938, replacing the buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. In 1938, a national design competition was held by the United States Mint to find a new image for the 5-cent coin. Artist Felix Schlag won the competition with the left-facing portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home, on the reverse. Schlag's design would become one of the longest-running designs in US coin history, remaining largely unchanged until 2004, and that includes the 1973 version, which carries this same iconic imagery. The year 1973 was an important moment in American history. The nation was going through significant political tension, with the Watergate scandal building momentum. Vietnam was still in the headlines. The oil crisis was looming, and the economy was dealing with both inflation and unemployment. In the middle of all this uncertainty, Americans went about their daily lives using coins like the Jefferson nickel for everyday purchases: sodas, newspapers, postage, and more. It's easy to forget that in your pocket during those turbulent times, there might have been a coin silently passing through history. The 1973 Jefferson nickel was minted at 2 major locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint coins do not have a mint mark, while the Denver coins carry the small D mark. There were no nickels minted in San Francisco that year for general circulation, but there were special proof coins produced for collectors with an S mint mark. These proof coins were struck on polished dies, using specially prepared planchets, and have a brilliant mirror-like finish. In total, over 384 million Jefferson nickels were minted in 1973, including both Philadelphia and Denver strikes. That means the coin is not rare in terms of mintage volume. However, the real story lies in the details: coin condition, minting errors, and historical context. Collectors seek out coins in mint state condition, especially those graded Ms. 65 and above by professional grading services. Finding a 1973 Jefferson nickel with full steps on Monticello on the reverse side is a key sign of a strong strike and brings premium value. Full steps mean that all 6 steps on the building are visible without interruption, which is relatively rare and can significantly boost a coin's value. Minting errors are another fascinating aspect of the 1973 Jefferson nickel. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cracks. These errors turn ordinary coins into rare collector's items. For instance, a 1973D nickel with an off-center strike of more than 10% can fetch several times its face value. A doubled die obverse showing doubling in Jefferson's I or lettering would be even more valuable depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Now, let's talk about composition. Like most nickels from the mid-20th century, the 1973 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. There is no silver content in this coin, although sometimes collectors confuse older nickels with wartime nickels from 1942 to 1945, which did contain silver. The 1973 nickel was purely a base metal coin, made for everyday transactions. As we go deeper into this coin story, we must acknowledge its place in culture. For many people, the Jefferson nickel was the first coin they handled as children. It was given in change at local diners and soda fountains. It was saved in piggy banks and coin jars across America. It's a coin that lived quietly in pockets and purses across the country, but also in the background of some of America's most defining moments. The simplicity of the design, the consistency of the strike, and the value it held for so long made it a true part of American life. Coin collecting surged in popularity in the 1970s and 1980 seconds, which means many 1973 nickels were pulled from circulation and stored in albums. Today, it's not unusual to find circulated versions of the coin with visible wear. However, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a different story. The passage of time, natural wear, and mass circulation have made high-quality examples harder to find, making them more appealing to collectors now than ever. Let's not forget about the Jefferson nickel's role in the broader narrative of U.S. coinage. It represents the bridge between traditional coin designs and modern coinage changes that would begin just a few years later. By 2004, the Jefferson nickel underwent major design updates, including a new obverse portrait and different reverse scenes to honor the Lewis and Clark expedition. But the 1973 version remains a strong example of the classic look of mid-century American coinage. And if you're wondering whether your 1973 Jefferson nickel is worth anything more than 5 cents, here's the reality. Most circulated versions are worth face value or slightly more, but uncirculated coins, especially those with full steps, can be worth anywhere from $5 to over $100. Depending on condition and rarity. Error coins, as we discussed earlier, can be worth even more. As you hold this coin, or look for it in your change, remember that you're holding a small yet powerful piece of American history. The 1973 Jefferson nickel may seem simple, but it reflects a nation navigating change, holding on to tradition, and preparing for a new era. It is a coin of the people, a coin of memory, and a coin that still holds value both financially and historically. So whether you're a lifelong collector or just now realizing the stories behind the coins in your drawer, the 1973 Jefferson nickel is worth a second look. It's more than metal, it's memory preserved in copper and nickel, where we explore the legacy of coins that have shaped nations and inspired collectors for generations. Today, we take a deep journey into the history, design, significance, and value of the 1961 Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent coin that continues to capture the interest of numismatists and history lovers alike. From its political context to minting techniques, hidden varieties, and collector appeal, this coin tells a story far deeper than its face value suggests. The 1961 Jefferson nickel was part of a coin series that began in 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had circulated from 1913 to 1938. The Jefferson design was chosen through a competition organized by the United States Mint, and the winning artist was Felix Schlag. Schlag's design featured a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse, while the reverse showcased a depiction of Jefferson's home Monticello, a neoclassical structure located in Virginia. The original design remained relatively unchanged through the years, with only slight modifications introduced for clarity or minting improvements. By 1961, the United States was in a dynamic period of its history. The Cold War was at its peak. John F. Kennedy had just taken office, and the nation was shifting socially and economically. This atmosphere of change formed the background to the coins minted that year, including the Jefferson nickel, struck primarily at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small d mint mark on the reverse. The 1961 D. Jefferson nickel is of particular interest to collectors because of its mintage volume, striking quality, and several die variations. Over 229 million Jefferson nickels were struck at the Denver Mint in 1961, making it one of the higher mintage years in the series. Although this volume suggests the coin is relatively common in circulated condition, uncirculated examples, especially those in Ms. 65 and above, are harder to find due to weaknesses in the strike and poor planchet quality. These minting inconsistencies are what make high-grade examples significantly more valuable among collectors. The Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable silvery appearance. Although the coin contains no silver, its composition makes it resistant to wear and ideal for everyday transactions. Its diameter is 21.2 mm with a weight of 5 grams and a plain edge. The metal composition and specifications remained consistent throughout most of the series until the wartime nickels of 1942 to 1945, when silver was temporarily introduced due to metal shortages. Collectors who pursue the 1961 Jefferson nickel often pay close attention to strike quality. Full steps is a designation given by grading agencies such as PCGs and NGC to coins that display complete and uninterrupted steps on the Monticello building on the reverse. This detail is notoriously difficult to find on many dates in the Jefferson series, especially the 1961 D, which is well known for weak strikes and worn dies. Therefore, 1961 D Jefferson nickels with full steps command a premium in the collector market and can fetch significantly higher prices depending on condition. The Jefferson nickel series is also popular among error collectors, and the 1961 D coin is no exception. Some known varieties include die cracks, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes. There are even examples of coins with double die obverses or reverses. Though these are rare, any such variety can dramatically increase the value of an otherwise common coin, making the 1961 Jefferson nickel a rewarding hunt for sharp-eyed collectors. Beyond technical details, this coin represents a broader piece of American history. The early 1960s were a time of technological innovation, civil rights movements and political transformation. Coins from this period carry with them a sense of being witness to change and continuity. The Jefferson nickel itself stands as a symbol of American values of liberty, democracy, and architectural beauty, embodied in both its subject and design. The legacy of the Jefferson nickel series continued until 2004, when the Westward Journey series temporarily replaced it to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Still, the original Schlag design returned briefly before being permanently modified in 2006 to include a new forward-facing Jefferson portrait. The 1961 Jefferson nickel therefore remains one of the many chapters in the long and evolving story of American coinage, reflecting mid-century design sensibilities and minting practices. As a collector, you might encounter the 1961 D. Jefferson nickel in circulation, coin shops, or estate collections. While circulated examples hold minimal monetary value, they offer historical value and a tangible connection to the past. On the other hand, coins preserved in original rolls or found in mint state condition can be worth considerably more, especially when certified by top grading agencies. Grading plays a vital role in determining the market value of this coin. A 1961 D. Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition may be worth just face value, or slightly above, but coins graded Ms. 65 or higher can range from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on visual appeal and strike quality. The presence of full steps can easily double or triple a coin's value, making detailed examination under magnification an essential part of evaluating your collection. For those interested in completing a full Jefferson nickel set, the 1961 D remains an accessible yet challenging date due to the need for high-quality examples to complete registry sets. In fact, many collectors enjoy the thrill of upgrading their Jefferson collections over time as they come across better struck or more visually appealing coins. In closing, the 1961 Jefferson nickel is more than just a 5-cent piece. It is a compact artifact of American heritage representing political vision, artistic skill, and industrial precision.